Welcome to Let Your Love Be Real talk show. I'm your host, Markia Butler. First off, I want to let you know how honored we are to share this time with you. Here you can expect some heartwarming interviews, tips on how to make everyday life better, and a few news stories to keep you posted on what goes on around the world. We want to motivate you to feel loved, promote physical activity in your daily life, and to encourage you to be the best version of you. Let's chat about sweetness. It's something that we all encounter every day in our food, in our life, in our personal interactions. Sweetness with food usually is associated with sugar, something that we should not have too much of, something we should have after we eat our vegetables, of course. Don't fill up on sweets, they say. Eat them in moderation, they say. Too much can give you diabetes. But sweetness in life is a little different. I'm talking about warmth and kindness. When we interact with people who are sweet, we usually come away feeling better about ourselves and our world. And there is no downside. Nobody ever got their foot cut off from having too many pleasant conversations. But some people out there do not strive to be sweet. Some people see kindness and graciousness as extensions of weakness. They think sweet people are sweet because they can't be cold and ruthless, but it is not always easy to be courteous and polite and empathetic, especially if you don't have to be. I believe those who are in a position of power but still choose sweetness over cruelty or indifference are some of the most admirable in our world. People may not always like what you say, and no one can avoid that. But I think if we always keep each other's humanity in every interaction that we have, we can make the world a better place. There is always room for more kindness in the world. You can have too many sweets in your kitchen, but you can't have too many sweets in your relationships and your world. So, with that in mind, we're going to talk to Tamara Faith, who titled her new book, Sweet, Not Stupid. Welcome to Let Your Love Be Real. How are you, Queen?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm blessed to be here.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, it's an honor. So please tell us who you are. Tell us about your book. You're a #1 selling author on Amazon. Please tell us more.
Yeah, so I'm actually a California native. So I was born and raised in Lancaster. And then after graduating high school, decided to go to college at Cal State Northridge, where I graduated with my psych degree. And then not long after that, continued to do like creative endeavors, and I was always into poetry, so it just kind of fell into my lap. So my book, it's called Sweet Not Stupid. It's available on Amazon right now, and newly best-selling author. It's an amazing accomplishment. I'm still like in the clouds of it. So it's been an amazing journey writing it and, getting it published and just all of that. I'm just so happy and so elated to finally share it with the world.
Well, let's get into this book because super proud of you. So the title of your book is called Sweet Not Stupid. That's a strong and captivating title. What motivated you to title your book Sweet Not Stupid?
It's so funny because it started off as just a conversation between me and one of my homegirls, and I was just venting. At the time, I was, talking to a boy in college, and we weren't really on the same page, and I was venting, and I was like, does he think I'm, like, the sweetest person and all that stuff, but does he think I'm stupid? And I'm like, what is going on here? So it just kind of stuck in college, but, it started off as a Facebook post, and so just from there, it always stuck with me because that ended up being my life mantra, just being a sweet person. But there's always this stigma that some people think you're naive, or some people don't think that, you're caught up on game and something like that. And so for me, I always thought if I'm feeling this way, someone else has to be feeling this way. So it was
Absolutely.
something that never left me. And I say, yo, this message has to be shared.
It does. So I want to ask, what was the biggest obstacle that may have overwhelmed you when creating your book? And how did you get to this place of, this is what I'm going to share and this is what I'm not going to share? What did that look like for you?
Gotcha. Okay, so that first part, what was the most challenging part of writing the book? I would say is actually revisiting a lot of the situations and scenarios that really had a lot of pain there. I had a lot of questions there, had a lot of vulnerability there. So having to revisit, unrequited love, or having to revisit a lot of disappointments, or a lot of times where I was silent, or there are times where I wanted to share but didn't exactly know the words. So that was a challenging part, because those were chains that were finally broken, but having to go back, for the sake of someone else. I would say that was probably the most challenging, having to wake up in that writing process in the very early stages of it, and having to push myself to write every single day until it got done. So that was the most challenging part. And then the vulnerability, it's not hard for me to be vulnerable now. Just kind of getting to the meat of what's important and getting to the meat of why, my vulnerability is necessary really helps me to pick and choose what to be vulnerable about and how much to share, because it's the end goal that I'm after, that healing, or that restitution, and also forgiveness and letting go. So that helps me to filter out what I can and what I can't just yet on that scale. But 90% of my life is there. So.
Yes, you hit on so many points, like healing, forgiveness. These are things that Let Your Love Be Real is all about. So thank you so much for sharing that portion of it. But I do want to ask you a question in regards to advice you would give to others that are having to work or operate out of that pain and put their purpose to the forefront, like you did through your book. Like, what advice would you give them?
My advice I would give them is to say, first, assess the hurt, or assess what actually is going on with you. Being real with yourself before you can be real with somebody else, I think, is probably the biggest first step that you could ever take. And then venting it out. I would say writing it, maybe, or probably doing like a blog or keeping a journal, and then allowing someone else into your process with you. Maybe one person that you trust, and then you can get to a place where you can trust 2 or 3 people to share your story with. Because I think that road is a very fragile one, but it's very, very vital. So I would just be honest with the fact that we are very fragile human beings. Our hearts are so soft, and we don't have to be stone cold, but you can be that with yourself first. Start with yourself first. And of course, pray to God and do what you gotta do, write it out, whatever, get it out, and then, get to a place where you can share with one other person, and then 2, 3 people. But I would say start off with yourself.
Thank you so much. Yes, it is important to look inward. So, what is it that you want others to take from your book?
So the impact I want to give is this idea of strength. The idea that you have to be boisterous, or you have to be loud, or you have to be very forceful with getting recognized or getting looked at. And what I want to do, and what I believe is happening, is there's a shift in that strength, and recognizing that you can be strong and be audacious and all of those things. But it's looking at the package. I'm after the perspective of the package. And that you can be sweet, and you can be strong. And being meek is not weak. It's applied strength, knowing when to do it and where and how much pressure is necessary. And that's the legacy I want to give off or leave here with this new generation, is to say that you don't have to do too much. You really don't. Who you are is enough.
Who you
What
are.
package you're in, you're enough. Who you are, everything that's on the inside of you, all the ingredients God gave you, was all for a reason, because you're an answer. You're an answer to a prayer. You're an answer to a problem, and you have everything necessary in order to be that answer.
Since you're this phenomenal woman, What did the journey look like for you getting to this place? Like, what was the before? Because some people don't seem to see how they can overcome when you're in a situation. So, like, what was that leap that you took? Like, how were you able to garner enough courage to make that leap?
So the leap that it took in order for me to be this woman that I am today, that leap of overcoming hurt, honestly, overcoming letting go, overcoming my own pride, my own setbacks, and actually diving into faith for myself, knowing God for myself, knowing His voice for myself. Some people don't know that I was actually on the track to being a therapist. I have a psych major, or a psych degree rather, and I wanted to be a marriage and family therapist with an emphasis on cognitive behavioral therapy. And all of these creative ideas just kept coming into my mind and coming into my head, and it was program after program shutting down, saying that we not accepting application, or there's no vacancies in this job, or just I lost multiple jobs after college. So it was doors being shut in my face, honestly. That when there's a no over here, what is already saying yes to me? What is it that's already in my space or in my circle, that's saying yes to me or saying yes to a path?
Something you taught me was go through the open door. So
yes, go through the open door. What is open right now? What's working right now? And knowing that you can trust what's on the other side of that, so because God gave it to you, what I mean? It's open for a reason, and you have everything necessary to walk in and be successful, and to go through all those different steps. And I believe that when you go through that open door, God's bringing people to assist you with some of the steps that you need maturation in, maturing in and stuff. So, yeah, it took it knocked down multiple times, broken hearts, all of that. It took a lot.
All right, Miss Tamara Faith, so where can we find you? Where can we find your book? Congratulations again. And what can we expect from you in the future?
Awesome. So you can find me on all social media. Instagram is where I'm most active at lovelyladytam_. I'm also available on Facebook, Snapchat, and TikTok.
Come on, TikTok.
Yes, ma'am. I also have my own website at tamarfaith.com. And you can find my book on Amazon, and you can find it in 2 locations physically, at Malik's Books in Lamar Park and also Culver City Mall. And I'm also looking at Monster Books on Santa Monica as well. So you'll be able to see my book there. In addition to that, I'm actually working on a short film called Hope Secured, which is going to be available sometime in the summer. We're already accepted into 2 festivals, so we are accepting donations. Yes. Yeah, so there's a lot more projects on the books, movies coming out, and all of those sorts. So stay tuned with me, and you'll be able to see all of that at the forefront.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this beautiful interview. You are such a beautiful, inspiring woman. Thank you so much for the gifts and the gems you dropped today. And we will see you again, hopefully, on Let Your Love Be Real talk show. Hey everyone, welcome to this portion of the show. It's called Dance, Love, Fit, and I'm here with amazing choreographer Tay Ryan. Hey,
How you
Tay.
doing, everybody? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So what this portion of the show is about is to have a healthy lifestyle, to promote fitness, and today we have a dance for you that's going to continue throughout the 4 episodes of this month. So please get ready, make sure you have your workout gear on, and come dance with us. Alright guys, so this is the part we break it down for you. I'm going to do like a modified version, and he's going to do the extravagant dancer, amazing, extraordinary version.
All right, guys, here we go. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to lift your right leg up to your right hand, hammer down, yeah? Right after that, when you land that leg down here, you want to roll your hands back and roll your chest, take air into your chest, and then slam it down. Boom. You want to pop up with a what? What? Then you want to go back down again. Boom. You want to step on that right foot, right? You want to step on your left foot, left. Now you want to take just your right foot and tap behind yourself. Tap behind behind, bring it back, boom, tap behind, boom, bring it back, boom. From here, then take a fist, roll around your head, and then clap it up. And that is section 1.
All right, everyone. How great does that feel? Make sure you tune in to Dance Love Fit on Let Your Love Be Real talk show with Tay Ryan and Markia Butler next week for section 2. Dance Love Fit is every week, so make sure you keep up and wear your comfy clothes. Something recently that happened to me. I stopped to grab a drink, not a drink, at a corner store, and the cashier told me the total was $2.45. I gave him a $5 bill. He gave me $2.50. He looked at me, and I looked at him, and I had to speak up about the extra 5 cents due to me. It was definitely a sweet, not stupid situation. I did not know I would have to ask the cashier for my proper change. I'm definitely going to take some of Tamara's life lessons into account. You can find her new book, Sweet, Not Stupid, on Amazon. If you'd like to stay posted on Tamara's journey, you can find her at Lovely Lady Tam on Instagram and her short film, Hope Secured. Remember, life is all about its curveballs and how they can compromise you if you let it. But if you're honest with yourself, you can always pull through. And when you do, you'll be stronger, wiser, and sweeter. That concludes our very first episode of Let Your Love Be Real talk show. I'm your host, Markia Butler. See you next week. Until then, find us on social media at LYLBR Show on Instagram or on Twitter and Facebook. Remember, love is the breath you breathe. So, let your love be real.